Hey, welcome to the show. Today's guests say their relationships are so bizarre, they have to keep them a secret. Now, there's been all this controversy about all the fights. Well, today we have a love story. Please meet Mark. He's been together with his wife for 10 years and married for the last 5. But before we talk to Mark, let's meet his wife. Please welcome her to the show, Mark's wife. So, how long you been married?
5 years.
Okay. Let me start out, I guess on a serious note here. This is pretty sick, isn't it?
A psychologist described it to me as an unusual adjustment to a unique situation.
An unusual adjustment to what?
To a unique situation.
Okay, all right. What do you mean? Okay, hey. No making out on stage. Okay. And no fighting. Okay. All right. What do you mean you're married to this horse? Seriously now, let's hear your story. What's this about?
Back in my teenage years, I was a normal teen in terms of being horny as hell. Had a best friend. We spent a lot of time together. He had a little pony out on his grandma's farm. And we used to hitch her up to a little two-wheel sulking, go right around the river and so forth. One day it was hot and sweaty, and we got back and she was hot and sweaty. He told me to groom her out, brush and comb her, while he took the harness into another room and oiled it. While I was combing and remembering all the things we'd been talking about, he had some pretty good descriptions of our local high school girls. He was kind of a peeping Tom. So I was still thinking of all that. And I happened to be brushing down at her tail end, and she lifted her tail up, and there it was in all its glory.
I'm gonna vomit.
I stuck a finger in because I was so curious. I wanted a girl, but by that time.
Have you ever been with a woman?
Yes.
I mean, a human.
Yeah. To make it March, eventually, after a bad prom date experience, I actually did have intercourse with that little mare the next year. It was it was great. It was fantastic. It was so good I about passed out. I figured a woman would kill me if an animal was that good.
Okay, have you...
Turned out I was wrong.
I don't even know that it matters what I ask you. Okay, you have been married to a woman.
Yes.
You've been
two
married.
children.
You have 2 children by a human woman.
By a human woman, yeah.
So,
If I'd had children by her, we'd be in the Inquirer by now.
yeah. Oh, trust me, you're going to be in the Inquirer. I finally found a story to replace me. Okay, tell me. So what's this that you? So you divorced your wife?
Eventually, we just didn't get along well.
Did she know about your
Yes.
love of horses?
Yes. Before we were married.
So you actually had a ceremony where you married this horse.
Yes.
You live with this horse.
Yes. She's housebroken. Pretty well. Pretty well. She comes in the house. I go outside, whatever. We just do a lot of things together. She's my friend. She's my confidant.
Does any of this strike you as either sinful or? I mean, first of all, this is bestiality. This is certainly against anybody's Bible, isn't it?
Sure.
I suspect it's also against the law. What are you doing being married to a horse?
It's against the law in some places, not all places. And as far as immoral, sinful, there's not a question you could ask me that I haven't asked myself time and time again. But over the years, every time I tried to...
I'm getting nervous. That horse is staring at me. Maybe.
What's that? What's
Maybe
that?
it's the cologne. I don't know.
She thinks you're a real stud.
Yeah.
Now, her saliva is high in sodium bicarbonate, so kissing a horse
Well, it certainly
is
is a
great if you have an
stable
upset stomach.
relationship. So you live with this horse.
Mm-hmm.
This horse, as far as you're concerned, according to some ceremony you had, I can't imagine it was in a church, was it?
Well, it's I live in a rural area, but the Baptists aren't quite that advanced there. No, this was
I don't know if
priest
you'll
from
find a
England.
Baptist that thinks this is right. I mean, let's not insult the Baptists here. That you're sleeping with a horse.
Yeah. Just plain and simple, it's true. But we do a lot of things. Yeah. She, Canton's a camera hog.
What?
She gives me a friendly greeting in the mornings, or when I come home, she's standing there whinnying at me. She gets moody now and then, but if she gives me a shit, I just take a shovel and clean it up.
How did you meet? Okay, hey. How did you meet this horse? What?
This was after.
The what?
I met her after a little pony I'd had before died tragically young, just a 3-year-old. Some friends advised me to go get another horse right away. I thought it'd be disloyal to little Rosie's memory, but they said, no, I just, horse spent so much of my life that I had to have another one. And they were right, they were smart. So I just went to the horse trader I'd been dealing with before, a friend of mine. I saw her out in the sunlight with the dapples shining. And
Was this horse originally bought for your daughter?
Hmm?
Was this horse originally bought for your daughter?
No. Oh, no. Well, my daughter, horse happy. Pixel's mine.
What do your kids think about this? They're seeing Dad on national television admitting that he lives with a horse. I mean, we're laughing here, but this is so sick. I don't even know how to deal with this issue.
Sick is as sick does.
I tell you what, we spent a day.
I don't beat her up. I don't curse at her. There's a lot of things I don't do that a lot of so-called normal people do that I think are quite sick.
I just think, I'm not in favor of cursing, but it's probably better that you curse at the horse than sleep with her. Okay, we spent a day at home with Mark and Pixel and saw them together as husband and wife. We'll see that when we return. Stay with us. Welcome back. If you just joined us, I don't know. We're talking, this is a love story. We're talking to Mark and Pixel. Pixel is on the left, as you're looking on the screen. Pixel is a horse, and Mark and Pixel are married. Mark and Pixel are married. And they live together for 5 years now. He loves her, claims that Pixel loves him back, though I don't know how you would know that. They are intimate together. If you're saying this is against the Bible, you're right. If you're saying that this is illegal in most places, you're right. Is this sick? I would say you're right. But, hey. Okay. Mark, but you're saying where you live, this is legal.
Yes. Now, it's a funny thing about the word sick. In the DSM-4, which is what the psychologists use to diagnose mental illnesses, zoophilia is mentioned once, one word in the whole blasted book, and it just says other odd things, just other paraphilias. It's not generally considered by a lot of psychologists anyway, that I know.
All right. Let's take a look. Let's take a look at a day in the life of Mark and his wife, Pixel.
What we have together is, it's a romance. That's really what it is. It's a romance. I feel honored to be able to share my love with her, have it returned. It's a little harder than just saying, I love you, and your partner pretending you mean it, maybe. I can't just give her empty words. She can tell if I'm sincere or not. She may not know the exact meaning of the words, but she knows what we have. I have an exclusive relationship with Pixel. I enjoy looking at other horses, but she's mine, I'm hers. Back in my early years, it was, boy, any mare I could get to. Oh, yeah. Pixel, let's get you all prettied up here. A friend I'd made via computer links in England, he talked about, more or less in a whimsical fashion, about him performing an actual wedding ceremony. I told him I considered myself married to Pixel anyway. Been together 9 years now, my gosh. I looked at him and said, yeah, why don't we do the wedding? I called a friend to see if he would take photographs for us. And as they're going into town to pick up some film and get the friend, I suddenly noticed that my IQ had dropped about 100 points. My knees were wobbly. I was breaking out into a sweat. In other words, I was acting just like I did before I married my human wife. While I thought I wasn't taking it seriously, my heart knew better. I knelt by her and held a hoof in my hands. I made my promises to her. You could tell she was paying attention to what was going on. There was one point right at the end of the ceremony where she gave me a look like, it's about time, you so-and-so. It's about time you did it right. Made me an honest moment. Kind of wish we could have children together. When I look through the photo album with her, I'm reminiscing. I talked to her about the pictures. You and those panties, Pixel. What's special for, what this does for her is it's just special time together. I just can't help looking at her now and then. I first saw her in the horse trader's pen. Well, she was about 12 then. And the sunlight, her dapples stood out nice. They were pretty. And I thought, well, try her. She's about the right size. She was not an easy lay, so to speak, if you're going to be a little crude about it. I had to earn her respect and her love. And that was a good thing because it gave her time to earn my love and respect at the same time. As far as sex goes, we make love. We don't fool around on each other. Sometimes we do have wild balls to the wall, just crazy sex. What a piece of tail. She sometimes initiates things. I'm usually too impatient just to wait for her, but sometimes she's impatient. But I have to respect her moods too. If I don't, then it's it's too much of a one-way relationship. Here's to you, darling. 21 healthy years, and maybe 21 more. And I like to have it as equal as possible between species. I don't know, I'm not hung like a horse, but that doesn't seem to matter to her. She still has her orgasms. And we do just about anything a human couple can do. God, I love her. God, I love her. Thank God for her.
It's hard to put a good interpretation on what you are doing with this animal. I mean, this is not a human being. Listening to it, in fairness, it sounds like you're talking about this loving woman. That is an animal. That is a very pretty animal, but it's a beast. And
Sure.
You are having intimate relations with a beast. You're talking to that like it's a real person, like she's your confidant, like she's going to be concerned about what you're thinking about. She doesn't know what you're thinking about. She's a horse. All right. I'll give you a chance to answer. There's more to come. We'll be right back. Okay, welcome back. We've been talking to Mark and his wife, Pixel. That's right, he married Pixel. Pixel happens to be a horse or pony. They've lived together for 5 years. He is very frank.
We've been married 5.
You've been married 5.
Right.
He's very open about it. He says, yes, where he lives it's apparently legal, and he says, yes, he has been intimate. Okay, we touched on it before. You were married to a human before.
Yes.
You have 2 children by that human. What do your kids think? I mean, your kids are going to see this. Here you are on national television. Aren't they going to be humiliated by Dad?
My kids have known for years. I talked to them about it.
And what do they say? Oh, gee, Dad, that's okay.
Pretty much.
Really?
My daughter put it this way. She said, you just marched to the beat of a different hoof.
Do the kids tease them in school?
No. No, well,
oh, come on.
Most of their friends don't know anyway. They're some distance away. I advised them not to tell their friends, but I said if they wanted to, it wouldn't embarrass me. But I advised them that for their own good, they'd probably be better.
Did your wife leave you because of you and a horse?
No, we just came up not compatible. My wife's a professional woman, very bright, successful. She did a great job raising our kids, but we just couldn't get along.
What were you doing while she was raising the kids? Out in the barn?
No, I went out in the barn after my wife went to sleep. No, I was working while she was raising the kids. She took most of the responsibility, and I was a little uncertain about my role and what I could do, and I was really worried about screwing them up, so I let
During
her
the period of time that you were being intimate with your wife, were you also being intimate with a horse?
Yes, toward the end.
And your wife was okay with that?
Well, I actually never asked her. To go back to this communications business, do you have a dog or a cat? Anybody here have a dog or a cat? When you go home after a hard day at work, do you kick the dog or the cat, or do you ever talk to them when they come over
I'll
to
be
get
honest.
petted? You say, hey, good boy, whatever.
I loved my dog and I petted my dog, but
Right.
You know what? Grace never turned me on.
That's okay. That's okay. Guys don't turn me on, but I can still understand the gays. I'll tell you. As far as sick goes, that's such a slippery term. I think beating your wife is sick. I think abusing your
I'm
children
not
is sick. I
suggesting
think
there
war
aren't
is
other
sick.
sick things in the world, but
I think this is about as harmless as sick as you're ever going to find. If it's sick at all. If it's sick at all.
If you think that the horse has, and I understand that that animals have their own feelings or whatever. I'm not putting down horses, but let's give the horse the kind of significance that you want to. Where do you think the horse is consenting to you getting on it and doing whatever you do to it?
You see these?
Yeah.
They're nice and hard, and they have fairly sharp edges. They're attached to some strong muscles. And I'm not about to stand naked, family jewels swinging in the breeze behind an animal like that and do something she doesn't want. One time I tried that. I wouldn't take nay for an answer. And I got a flying lesson. That was the only time I ever tried to force myself on a horse. Fortunately, about 75% of them don't mind a bit.
I think right now he's getting ticked off. You said before she.
I have friends that have he's. I have a she. I'm an old fuddy.
You said before you don't understand what gay people do, but how is this the same as that?
Well, in that I can't see what's attractive in another man to a man. I just can't understand it.
That's fine, but
Just
at least
like
that's two human beings. I understand that too, but at least that's two human beings.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But you know what? I'm not spreading AIDS. I'm not contributing to overpopulation. And if women turn you on, just figure this: I'm out of circulation. There's more for you.
When other people go out and let's say rent adult videos, do you rent Mr. Ed?
No, I don't rent Mr. Ed. I have almost every episode on tape.
All right.
Mr. Ed. Funny thing, she doesn't like Mr. Ed. She does like Bonanza. I think she kind of...
Okay, did your children at any time, on a serious question,
Okay.
did your children at any time have difficulty with this? Now, be honest. I can't... Okay, answer the question. Did your children at any time have trouble with this?
I don't think so. They're pretty sharp. I think they picked up on it a little bit themselves before I talked to them.
At what age? At what age?
Around 12.
A 12-year-old... Now help me. This and I can't... I honestly can't imagine a 12-year-old kid finding out that Dad is sleeping with a horse, not being very uncomfortable with that. That, gee, the kids in school are going to find out about it, or what's wrong with Dad, or... Please don't tell me that your kid simply said, hey, Dad, that's what you like. Go get him. Go to the Derby. Really get turned on. That's not... Wouldn't a kid just be outraged?
I'm sorry, I can't believe it. That's essentially what they said. I took my son aside first. He was the oldest. He was starting to date. I took him aside to talk about respect, relationships, and how my relationship came about because I simply could not do anything else. Every time I've tried to deny my nature, it's been a train wreck. Since I finally accepted myself, I've been much happier. I lost over 100 pounds. She's, whether she talks to me or not.
This is a hell of a diet plan.
A little diet plan, yeah.
Okay.
You think this will blow the little fairy with the playing cards out of the diet business?
Okay. All right, up next. This woman lost her virginity at the age of 13 to the family pet. We're going to meet her and her current boyfriend when we return. Stay with us. Welcome back. Today's guests say their love relationships disturb other people. Now, our next guest has been with her boyfriend for 10 years. Now, she asked that her voice be disguised, so we're going to grant her that wish. Please welcome Rebecca and her boyfriend, King, to the show. Rebecca, welcome to the show. What's your relationship with King?
Well, I've had him for nearly 10 years. It's, both the sexual, it's an emotional relationship. I love him a lot.
Look, lots of people love their dogs a lot, and that's great. Your dog can be your best friend, but I'm not sure your dog should be your lover.
Yeah, well, I'm real happy with the relationship. It's been a very satisfying relationship.
How could it be
overall.
satisfying?
What do you do with the dog?
We do a lot of different things. It's not, come here. It's not just sex. It's we spend a lot of quality time together.
Quality time? What do you talk about?
We spend a lot of time, normal owner-dog relationship, going out for walks. I play with him at the park.
Do you understand you're not supposed to have sex with a dog?
A lot of people feel that way.
What?
A lot of people do feel that way, but, it's something that I've done since I was young.
How did it start?
I was 13, and we had a stray that we took in, and one day when we were just playing, it was just like, rough play. I noticed he had an erection, and I masturbated him to orgasm. And it was a little shocking, but a couple weeks later...
Am I here? Okay, a couple of weeks later what?
A couple weeks later,
You found out you were pregnant?
No.
Okay, no.
Not at all.
Okay.
So a couple of weeks later what?
It went further, and we did have intercourse for the first time. That was painful the first time, but it was.
Are you a religious woman?
No, I'm not. Not at all.
Okay. So there you go. So you had sex with a dog. What happened to that dog?
About 6 months after we had him, we lived on a ranch, and he had free reign. He got hit by a car.
Okay.
So
You moved on from that relationship.
Have you ever been with a man?
Yes, I have. I've been with several men over my life.
Do they bark?
No, they don't.
Okay.
And how have those relationships been?
Well, the first relationship, I moved in with a man, and he also had a dog, and I had a relationship with him and his dog. He didn't know about, obviously.
And he walked
in on you one day?
Yes, he
You
did walk
did?
in. Yeah. He obviously freaked out. He kicked me and broke a rib, and he ended up shooting the dog.
Now, he's a sick one, man.
Yeah, I agree.
Really?
I agree.
I'm sorry about the dog. So now what? You're not with him anymore?
Oh, no. I left him as soon as I could.
So now you're full-time with King?
Yes.
How long?
I've had him since he was 8 weeks old, and he's almost 10 now. So I've had him for nearly 10 years.
And have you been with men since?
Yes, I have. I've been in several relationships.
Do they know about King?
No, none of them ever knew. None of them ever knew.
Do you think a guy has a right to know if his girlfriend's sleeping with a dog?
Well,
Do you consider this cheating?
no.
Do you
No,
think King considers it cheating?
I don't think that they can make that determination.
Well, maybe that's the point. You're just taking an animal, using it for your own gratification.
He gets,
Do animal rights groups get on you about this?
they probably would, but the way if he wasn't enjoying it, he wouldn't be doing it. You know, he has to enjoy it to get an erection and to be brought to orgasm.
You honestly don't think this is just warped, sick, perverted, or something? You don't?
No, it's an alternative lifestyle. Not many people know about it.
But these aren't. How about sticking with your species? How about saying, I'm going to live my life as
The relationships that I've had with people have not been as gratifying emotionally or sexually.
I'm not suggesting humans are easy, but work on it. Don't pick on your dog.
No,
So you think it's okay that he's sleeping with a horse?
yeah.
Has a horse ever turned you on?
Yes.
Are you saying, will you ever be with a man again?
I doubt it very much. I doubt it very much.
Any particular reason?
Just because the past relationships that I've had have been so bad that, you know, and the ones that I've had with my animals have been so gratifying. I'm not being abused by a dog. A dog, you know, he doesn't cheat. He's
What kind of fulfillment can a dog possibly give? I'm not talking about the itch. I'm talking about a relationship. Seriously, what can a dog give a human being in terms of a fulfilling relationship other than the relationship of an owner and a pet? I mean, how can it be fulfilling? What, the dog's going to understand what kind of a day you've had? Give you advice on what to do in life?
he knows my emotions.
Do you have relatives?
Yes, I do.
What do they think of this?
They don't know.
Well,
I don't ask them about their sexual life, and they don't ask me. And I don't volunteer the information.
what would make a 13-year-old girl have sex with a dog?
Curiosity, probably.
Go to the library. Honestly, I always try to understand whatever our guests are saying, because I know the show is about outrageousness, but I really have a lot of difficulty with this. You seem like normal people, but you're sleeping with animals.
Somebody ought to tell President Clinton that horses don't talk and sheep don't sue.
We don't know that. Okay, our next guest says he's never gotten so much satisfaction as when he got together with his lady. We'll meet them both when we return. Stay with us. Today's guests say their relationships might be bizarre, but they also are very satisfying. Please meet Brad. He says his girlfriend is both smart and beautiful. Brad, let's meet your beautiful girlfriend. Brad, what's wrong with you?
Oh, I'm just very nervous.
This is your dog. You have a relationship with your dog?
Well, yes. Lady has been with me for about 4 years, and well, she's been a companion, lover, friend. We go out for pizza together, rent movies, camp, you name it.
Do you enjoy the fact that everyone gets so disgusted with this? I mean, is that part of the attraction, that you just love watching other people get just bent out of shape watching?
Well,
listening
the fact that it would kind of hurts a little bit, but I'm not out in the open. I kind of keep everything cool, and they just think it's my dog. You know, when I go up to the drive-up window, I get free food out of the whole thing. Like, oh, she's so cute. And
Why, if we were having just a serious discussion, wouldn't you agree that this is not appropriate, that you should be with a human being if you're going to have sex, not with an animal?
Well, I kind of disagree with that. I kind of disagree with that because I'm doing what makes me happy, and this is, you know, how I feel. And
Have you been with humans?
Yes, I've had a homosexual relationship a few years back, and
Have you ever been with a woman?
no, I have not.
Wouldn't you want to try a woman before a dog?
Actually, to be honest, I've discovered over time that I'm not really attracted to people at all. It started, you know, a long, long time ago, like when I was a teenager. Some people growing up homosexual notice that they have an attraction to men, or, you know, women having an attraction to women.
When did you know? I think. Are you
And the
gonna
same
be-
thing kind of, yeah. Don't start fighting. There you go.
I think your dog's a lesbian. I don't know. What's the point?
On the side.
Would you be jealous if you found out that what, lady fell for king?
No, not really, because I understand that dogs, by nature, are not wolves or coyotes that like stay with one mate for life. And she's actually had one litter of puppies.
Maybe
in
they
the
got a
past.
little more sense. They stay with dogs.
Actually, it goes both ways with us. The best way to describe this is, you know, she's actually solicited me before.
When was the first time you were with a dog? Or when did you first know that you were attracted to dogs?
11 years old.
11.
11 years old.
What were you doing?
I was throwing papers in a large city. And there was a German Shepherd that I would see every morning, and the dog would actually come out and greet me. And it was mostly just emotional. And there was nothing sexual involved at all. I was just too young at the time. And after a few years, she had passed on, and I was, you know, really saddened by this, and I actually cried. But, you know, it wasn't the sexual side that really didn't start until I was about 13. It's okay.
And you didn't have any parents that told you that this was...
Oh, they did not know. I haven't told anybody.
Do you think you need to get to a doctor?
No, not at all.
Do any of you think you need psychological help?
No.
I'm not
Not at
making
all,
fun
no.
now. I'm being serious. This is not anything you think you need help for.
I have no feelings of guilt whatsoever.
I've talked to several psychologists. I have one on the advisory board of the support organization that
There's a support organization
there's a
for what you
support
do?
organization for contact. A zoophile lifestyle can be rather lonely. You don't. Your
I don't
best
think
friend
so.
Bob may be boffing the beef, as you'd never know it unless he told you. So to find another one of your peer group to talk to and that somebody understands and can relate to it is difficult.
How many people are in this group? How many people do you think do what you do?
Probably more than people let on, I would assume.
Right.
How many are in this group, this organization?
It's not a membership organization. It's just set up for contact. But I've had well over 200 inquiries by direct mail. I know there are over 1,000 or so on the internet in various places. And talking again to the psychologist, I have a friend, he describes himself as a rich Jewish psychiatrist. He says, I love stereotypes, especially the rich part. But he said, you know, well, if you're Jewish and you're making it with a pig, I might have a problem. He said, otherwise,
Oh, well, that's
you know, said, you know, if it makes you happy, said people need.
So as long as
people
things
need-
make you happy, it's okay to do. Is that
Well,
what you're all saying?
Yes.
they
If
say
it makes
people
you
need four
happy, just
things.
do it.
Yes, I've been.
As long
You
as
just
no
watch-
one's being hurt.
How about
Yeah.
the dog?
They're not
Oh,
being
don't let you
hurt.
know.
I've got teeth.
Yeah.
Horses have hooves. They can kick. Dogs have teeth. They can bite. They can defend themselves if it's not something that they want.
Yeah, it's almost kind of like being married because, you know, I don't like get it all the time. She'll let me know. It's like, no, I'm like, fine. And then other times she'll be,
Are you ever going to be with a human again?
no, I don't.
You've sworn off human for dogs.
Yes, I have.
This is how you want to live your life.
I'm very happy.
Are you attracted to other dogs as well, or is this a monogamous relationship?
This is. As a teenager, would have been more monogamous, or not monogamous, just the opposite. And I have been. But as I get older, I'm very happy being monogamous. And
In a fit of rage, have you ever called your dog a bitch? We'll have more when we return. Stay with us. Welcome back. Welcome back. Today we've been talking to people who have fallen in love with their animals, have married their animals, have been intimate with their animals. It's totally unbelievable. In any event, maybe there's someone that can make sense out of this. He is our resident psychologist. A nice welcome for Dr. Butterworth.
First of all, I've been listening to the show, and there been somebody quoting a psychologist saying that this is an alternate lifestyle. Where did they get that psychologist from? The Animal Planet? These are dumb animals. You feed them, they'll do pretty much whatever. These two Fidos, you know the animal liberation people that let animals go free? Where are they when we really need them? Let them free. I read your book. Mark said that he did this because of a bad prom date. Mark, I had a bad prom date, but I didn't go looking for Mr. Ed. Yeah, there are a lot of young people. No, Kinsey did a survey. They showed that there are people in their teenage years that experiment with this. But I'm afraid that there are young people watching this that are sitting at home lonely and they're kind of looking at their pet in a different way. This is bad. And it's real simple. The reason that we know it's not good is when we think about it or we feel about it, it feels funny inside. She's wearing sunglasses. He doesn't want. There's a reason for that. It's no good. Don't do it. Let them run free. I mean, I'm not saying that you're bad people, but you know, the animals get reinforced. It's basically you feed them, they'll do whatever, but they need to have a life of their own. I mean, you don't need a psychologist for trauma. You need a vet today because these folks don't have anything to say.
1 second, yes.
I wanted to know, have any of your animals cheated on you, or have you ever given them an opportunity to be with other animals, and how do you know they've chosen to be with you for the rest of their lives?
Good question. What about animal? You know, what about they want to be with another dog or have normal mating for animals?
Animals are not monogamous by nature. Dogs definitely not. And my girl has had one litter of puppies in the past.
Was that a tough time for you?
No, I simply understood it.
I was wondering, was there a problem when you were growing up with any of your parents? Because you all belong in the funny farm as far as I'm concerned.
No problem at all, actually.
Was it a parent thing? I mean, did you catch your parents doing it? Or, I mean, what's going on, you know?
I grew up in a parsonage, which is a very warped environment.
Oh, I believe you for some reason. You know what? I believe you.
Parsonage is by nature a warped environment. You live in a goldfish bowl. Everything you say or do is duly noted by neighbors, cops, everyone else. And you're supposed to be a little angel. Well, I learned to keep the 11th commandment, thou shalt not get caught.
What I would like to know, have any of you all had to go to the doctor for like a disease or anything?
No.
No.
You know? You're not concerned about any disease?
No.
No.
Yeah, but what about the animals? They're the ones that need to be checked. I'm not so worried about the humans.
She just had a full physical 3 days ago. She has a certificate of health, Coggins test, and everything
Yeah, but you
else.
said in your other book the other pony you had died prematurely. I mean, I can understand why. I mean, gee.
Oh, she got into wilting cherry leaves, which nobody,
It wasn't a sexually transmitted
even my
disease.
vets, didn't know were poisonous when they're wilting.
Okay, hold on.
I was just wondering, the two on the end with the dogs, if you prefer doggy style.
Actually, I can answer that. I can answer that.
I just wanted to know if you use protective sex.
No.
You don't use protection?
No.
No.
I'm not going to get pregnant.
I'm trying to find some redeeming value in this, and I'm finding none.
I have a question. You guys said in the earlier segment that dogs and animals are attractive. I don't understand what you see attractive by. I want you to tell me what is so attractive about animals.
It's the same difference between homosexuality and heterosexuality. No. I mean, people can understand why men would be attracted to men.
Animals don't talk. They can't sweet talk you. They can't run a bath for you, make it
They don't-
romantic. What do they do that's so romantic that you want to have sex with animals?
Well, believe me, don't talk is sometimes a great asset.
I just don't understand.
Yeah, but you can't have a relationship. In other words, if people are gay, they could still have a human relationship. They can confide in one another. They can offer advice to another. What advice are you going to get from a dog?
Let them loose and let them go off. Look at it. They're trying to do it now.
Yeah.
You said you read most of my book or some of my book. If you read all of the book, you've seen all the incidents in there. The psychologist that told me what I was doing was reasonable given the situation. Was aware of all the incidents listed in the book, and he says basically you got to the point where you just simply cannot trust a woman with your emotions. You can't let your heart out to a woman.
So you find a dumb animal? Yeah, right. I understand.
I'd say she's
Come
probably
on
smart.
with me. I'll find you a field. You can go and be a normal dog.
Get away.
Go ahead, dumb animal, and I'll give her an equine IQ test unless you test higher than half the audience.
Probably higher than you.
All of a sudden, we've been reduced to fighting with it.
Okay, my question is, since y'all love animals so much, have you ever had more than one animal in bed with you than these ones up here?
At the same time?
At the same time?
You're asking if there's a menage a trois with animals?
Yes. I mean, you have a threesome with this dog, a foursome with this pony,
I would think that would be a people
twosome
thing.
with this one. What? I don't understand.
Are you talking about more than one animal at a
In the
time?
bed at one time, yes.
No.
Are you suggesting a menagerie, a trois?
I've just done it once.
When you make love to them or whatever it is that you are doing, do you get them in your bed or do you get in the dog bed?
Oh, my bad. It's in my bed.
You bring him home.
And to answer well, my dog. To answer the doggy style question, and it's missionary style too.
I'll be back with a final thought. Stay with us. Let me take this opportunity to thank you all for being on the show, and thanks for bringing your pets. What do you say? You know, surely this violates every biblical, moral, and legal dictate on the matter. I mean, if this isn't sick, what is? Our show, which is about outrageousness, well, what is more outrageous than this? And yet there must be some psychological explanation, if not dysfunction, for this. We all love our pets, but heavy petting's about as far as it gets. To use an animal as a replacement for a human, to even be tempted towards such intimacy, suggests an immediate visit to a doctor. You can love and admire the beauty and grace of a horse. You can pet it. You can even bet on it. But if you're going to ride it, make sure you're up in the saddle. Until next time, take care of yourself.